this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about Gnostic spirituality. In this video, God asked me to talk a little bit about generational curses. This is a very broad topic, but I have a few points that I want to make in this video. One is that generational curses means certain number of bondages which have been repeatedly done on your lineage. Keep in mind that you have more lineages. You have lineage of soul, and then you have a lineage which is related to your race. Then you have a blood lineage, you have a spirit family of different individuals who embody the same identities as you throughout the bondages, not only your own identity, but also the identities which were bestowed upon you by darkness with bondages and so on. You still share with them that bondage, and that means whatever they did will affect you as well. That also means that you share bondages with the doppelgangers who impersonate you. So therefore, you unfortunately have to clear what they created while impersonating you. Yeah, all that darkness, because they put a lot of effort in setting you up in different ways. So they do a lot of criminal activity, and basically this type of darkness which they create is associated with the identity which they bestowed upon you and they're trying to steal from you. So it's not that easy. So again, generational curses means that you have throughout your lineages, again, it's plural, it's not just one, throughout all generations have bondages have been made a number of times. Imagine that each individual lived longer, and it did most probably didn't go through just one bondage but more. So what happens is, when as you do the spiritual fighting, you will notice that all the bondages that were created upon you were literally bondages which were initially created on previous generations. So it's repeated, the cycle, it's repeated basically. And this is why they struggle so much to transfer the karma, because they don't want this to stop. They want the generational curse to keep going on and on and on. Unfortunately, these individuals, especially those enrolled in the convents, they actually make babies and they sacrifice them at early age to leave the generational curse. And they get rewarded by the convent for sacrificing the child, literally giving a parental accord for the child to go through those bondages. Many of them, God has shown all of this to me, that many of them don't even bother to ask what kind of bondages are involved and what they're signing. They're just signing like in blank a parental accord for harm to be done on their children. Why? I asked, because I was in shock when I saw this, and I said, why they do this? And they said, simply so they don't have to pay karma. They transfer the karma to the child. So they don't have to go through punishment, then they sacrifice the child, giving accord for the bondage to be created on the child. It's it's a very ugly world that we live in, unfortunately. Well, as you break the bondage, you realize, and God will show to you, because this is how you break it. First, noticing what bondage was created on you. You breaking it, God will show to you the roots of this bondage are in this and that generation from your lineage. This and that happened to this and that person. So the bad news is that The bondages carry a lot of darkness because they have been repeated so many times. The good news is that once you break that, you help your ancestors, which are kept trapped in 4D with graveyard magic, with necromancy, because of these bondages and because of this darkness. So when you break that bondage, your ancestors ascend. I've seen this with my ancestors, and I was so happy. I actually I told God once. I said I don't want any of them to come back here ever again. Never to incarnate. They can do work from divine realm by embodying in different individuals, but never to be forced to incarnate. If I go through hell, at least show me that it's worth it, that I produce some outcome that literally creates good in the world, not just, and especially for those dear to me. So I will know that at least I understand that I went through horrible situations, but I created something beautiful for those that are dear to me. Yeah. So you literally help them break free from them, from 3D, from 4D, and ascend through your spiritual work. And I had many ancestors from my, even from my blood lineage, who came to me and expressed gratitude. And there's some of them I never met actually, because different situations, different divorces, different separations in older generations, so I didn't get to meet them. And they died before I was an adult to look for them. So I was very pleased to, I even had the opportunity breaking a bondage which was created between my adoptive father and his own father. I had the opportunity to help my adoptive father to heal himself and his father, because there was a lot of trauma, soul level trauma, because of this breakup in the family, and because of this bondage. So there are also beautiful things which come along with this. I want to emphasize this. Of course, it's much more darkness than beautiful, but the beautiful ones are like literally miracles. Because imagine my father is 80 something years, and he's been upset on his father all his life. And I actually helped him communicate with his father, understand the situation, understand the bondage, and heal. And he healed his father, a huge soul pain, and he healed himself, which obviously it's a tremendous benefit for his health. Anyhow, so there are beautiful things that you achieve. Now, again, you break your bondage, but your bondage is rooted in their bondage. So then you break all of bondages, and therefore you get to do a lot of healing in your lineage. You help them ascend. You yourself will ascend at some point. And what happens is that you go one by one, you go backwards. So breaking bondage, I think I said this before, breaking bondage means that you start with the latest bondage and then you go backwards to your youth, taking one by one each bondage which was created on you. It's a lot, believe me, it's a lot of work. But as you do this, as you go from one timeline to another, what happens is exactly what I said in a previous video, namely that even if in 3D sometimes it's more complicated to get true justice, to have them come forward to do redemption properly, to get recognition for all the slandering and smearing campaigns that they created up on your name, and to get recognition for your true value and worth. and to get your compensations for all you've been through, because spiritual fighting is not easy. And this is a damage they imposed on you, and they are guilty of it. So you should get compensations, not only what was stolen from you, but compensations for the horrible experiences that you had to go through. So even if you don't succeed to do all of these in 3D, you can still get justice in through your spiritual fighting, through 5D. I said this before, and I'll explain how. As you go through all of these timelines, in each timeline, as you break the bondage when something was stolen from you, God adds this to your, I don't know how to say, not only to your divine rights, because they are your divine rights anyhow, but God is collecting. God is whispering to me because I don't know the word to say. Is collecting all of this that was stolen from you. Is collecting it back. Is taking it back for you. And when you finish breaking the bondages and you finish the timelines, God gives all of this back to you. Like if you lost a job or if you lost the opportunity for a promotion, God will give that again to you, will bring that to you again. This is not the new beginning. Keep in mind, this will happen when you reach the new beginning. True, as a timing. But this is not the new beginning. This is what you earn through your spiritual fighting. Because breaking generational curses, it's divine law that breaking generational curses generates generational wealth. So all that was stolen throughout generations, that was lost by your lineage, you take it back. And you first take back what you earned, and then you enter through with all of this into your new beginning, which brings your divine rights to you. And that means that you earned for future generations the divine rights back. So they come with a clean slate. So, for example, if you didn't have a child yet, it's, to me, in my mind, it's a good news, because your child might not have to incarnate in 3D, or if the child has to incarnate or chooses to incarnate, he or she will come with a clean slate, not with a generational curse, debt, and bondage to be placed on him or her. So I think that's beautiful. I actually made a deal with God. I said, I'm not making child in this world. I'm not allowing my child to come in this world to incarnate. I want him to stay in 5D, because this is not acceptable. And if I started this cleanup in the lineage, then I will make it such a way so he doesn't have to come. But again, those that actually have children should be even more happy, because you have a very clear reason to fight for your child. So your child doesn't have to go through worse. If you have a child, for sure, he or she already went through some of the bondages and of the consequences of a generational curse. But at least you cut it and you clear it for him or her. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's the most important thing you can do, and most important inheritance you can give to your child, right? Yeah, so generational curse, breaking generational curse generates generational wealth. And this is what it means. It means that you collect and take back all of the opportunities and the resources which were stolen from the lineage. This is aside from your usual divine rights, which you will get in the new beginning. Yeah, they all come together in a very abundant outcome. God keeps reassuring me of this. And I think that is only fair because you have been through a lot, and it is fair because you will have the opportunity to create generational wealth for the next generations. So you will have the opportunity to create for them dharma, so they don't have to go through bad experiences or through lack or so on. So I guess this is what I wanted to say. Um, these are the points that I want to make at this point. I don't know, there's a lot to say about breaking generational curses. It's a lot of work, obviously. It's not easy, but to me, I believe that there is no other choice, because it's for you, but it's also for the next generation, and it's also for previous generations. So you're actually doing a really, really good deed. And let me tell you something. At some point, um, as I said in the previous video, you like it or not, the process of ascension, the global ascension, is going forward, which means sooner or later the veil will be lifted for you as well. No matter how much you love darkness, the veil will be lifted for you as well. So you're going to be forced to do the fighting. This is my belief, my personal belief, that sooner or later everyone will have to do the fighting. They won't have a choice, because the darkness that they count on will be transmuted by others. I broke bondages and attachments. I broke bondage for spirits, dark spirits, which were used by these individuals and the doppelgangers of me, which are living across the street and next to me. And because they summoned these spirits to do harm on me, there was no other choice for me than just to break the bondage for the poltergeist that they were using against me. There was nothing else, because I kept asking God. I said, how come from last night until this morning their power increased suddenly this much that they can harm me? They were like ants next to me, and now all of a sudden they can do harm, inflict pain on me. How? And God showed me that they summoned and they took over themselves poltergeist spirits from ancient times. So it will have more power because of so many repetitive cycles from ancient times. Imagine, right? Um, and um, and they said, how can I cut off the poltergeist from them so they won't do this to me anymore? And God said, well, you can't, because they called on the poltergeist to come to them. So you cannot, unless uh, and actually God didn't say unless. He just said you can't, because they took the poltergeist. And they said, that's okay. I will work with the dark realm, because with the spirit realm, because I believe this deeply, and I said it in prophetic writings, that there are spirits in spirit realm which are seen as entities, demons, whatever, and are used in order to attack people. But you can work much easier with them than with humans next to you. This is my experience. I said this to God, and my very initial, very first lessons about how to defend myself, I learned from spirits, not from humans. And they were telling me, the spirits were telling me how I can defend against that attack, because they were afraid. They were afraid because they were summoned and sent upon me based on fake claims on me, and they knew it's fake. The spirit knew that it's a fake claim, and they were afraid of God, punishment from God, because they knew I'm innocent. So the spirits told me, we know you are innocent, fight, because they will harm you, but they will harm us as well, because then God's punishment will be on us. And So I'm not kidding you, because these spirits are also from once upon a time humans, which they trapped and they trained to be poltergeist and to be dark and to do harmonium. This is what they do. These imbeciles, this is what they do. You talk about demons and Satan and all of this like it's a different realm, but it's not. It's just humans which chose darkness, the karmics, you know, which choose repetitively to do dark things. So their spirits get trapped by these convents, which after they die, they use them in graveyard magic and train them and keep them starving. So when they are summoned and sent upon you, it's for them it's more a life and death type of fight. That spirit is gonna do all harm to you because he needs to feed. You know, so this is all created by these imbeciles. Do you understand when I keep saying to God, let's move on and finish this, because I'm fed up with idiots. Look how much harm they've done. This is just crazy. Anyhow, so when that happened, when they took that poltergeist, I said, fine, so then I will heal the poltergeist to go home. And then they cannot work with the poltergeist anymore. And this is what I did. I broke the bondage for the poltergeist, which they were using on me. This is what I did actually in 2023 in my spiritual journey in Spain and some other countries. I broke bondage for the poltergeist which they were using to harm me, because I knew that I can do this. I said to God, I will not fucking stay here for them to keep sending this poltergeist at me. And I'm not staying hostage to their stupid situation whereby they keep harming me and killing my dogs and trying to kill me. I'm not gonna just sit like this, because I told God from the beginning. I said, listen to me. I am not a martyr. I do not take well this type of stupid stuff that martyrs do. I will fight and I will kick ass, man. I'm just telling you, you need to deliver and you need to put them in their place, because they have done a lot of harm to my race. And my race came here to help them, and they sacrificed everybody. So this is the type of education you gave them. So I said, I'm not Jesus. I don't turn the other cheek, and I want justice. So we made a deal, and I said, I start fighting since your boys betrayed both you and me, everybody. Then I will start fighting myself. I'm not gonna sit idle like this and watch them harming me. What do you mean? I will start fighting myself, and I will win. But this is what I said. But you promise me that you break protocol so we can actually win this. You don't just sit and wait for them to learn lessons in the next generation and so on. No, you deliver at the same time with me. So I said this in the previous video. You should negotiate with God and with the divine realm how you want your path to be. And personally, I did negotiate, and I did state clearly what I want, and God agreed with me, basically, and this is it. So what I meant to say is that you can break bondage even for a dark spirit, just so you will understand. So you can break bondage. It's not impossible. You can break bondage, and you can. So this is what I'm saying. I broke bondage. The poltergeist got healing. Yeah, got free from them. They couldn't hold the poltergeist anymore. It was not trapped anymore. And I'm telling you, when this spirit was free to leave, I was in Spain in a truck parking at the time. Um, and she cited with such a deep soul pain. So I was mesmerized. I actually was talking to Jesus, and I said, you see, Jesus, like, even poltergeist needs justice, man. We all need justice. Even the poltergeist is in pain and needs justice in everywhere, even in dark spirit world. still justice is necessary. So that's what I'm saying, and they will have to start fighting. So I'm saying, even if you choose to be with the dark forces and work with the dark forces, some of us will break bondage for the dark forces to go home, and you will be left alone in dark, and you will have to fight. Sooner or later, you will have to fight, because you cannot decide for everyone to create these stupid, imbecile situations, and to go through all the hell that you can create and imagine. Yeah, now I was speaking to them, actually, not to those who are fighting. I was speaking to them who create this. This is what I'm saying. Sooner or later, the veil will be lifted, and you will choose all to do the spiritual fighting. Or even if you don't choose, you're going to be just forced to do it. Yeah. I'm going to stop here because it's 25 minutes. And I already spoke about the generational curse, and somehow I got diverted. God is pushing me always to talk about different stuff that I'm not ready to actually talk about publicly or share yet. I also don't believe that everything needs to be shared, because I always have been very private, and I would like to keep some privacy, and now, even if I make videos. Okay, let me know if you have questions about generational curses and generational wealth. But all in all together, this is the image, that breaking generational curses, you're going to have to do it first of all. And the sooner you're doing it, the better. And that it will generate generational wealth for you and your next generations.